to be obedient to the love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energy towards the happiness and prosperity
Guyanese, Happy New Year. I greet you at the start of 2020, a most auspicious year in our nation's history. The year 2020 is an exciting time to be alive and to be Guyanese. Today, 1st of January, is a memorable and momentous date. It marks the dawn of the decade of development, 2020-2029. It marks the start of the national observance of the 50th anniversary of the Republic and the launch of campaigns for general and regional elections. An eventful year lies ahead. Guyanese can expect a higher quality of life over the next 5 years. We're looking beyond 2020. We're laying plans for the future. We're planning for improvements in our lives in the form of economic growth, which will accelerate as production increases and the major sectors become stronger and more resilient. Farmers and fishers benefiting from the modernization and the diversification of their sectors. Miners enjoying safer mining practices. Education and healthcare, which will continue to improve. Information and communications technology will be extended countrywide to link all regions and communities. Employment opportunities which will be available. Citizens having larger disposable incomes and public servants, emoluments continuing to grow to improve their standard of living. Public infrastructure, which will continue to be rehabilitated, upgraded and expanded, and more housing for low-income families. Energy supply, which will be extended to more rural and hinterland communities. Manufacturing enterprises will be catalyzed by more reliable electricity, and the generation of electricity from sustainable sources will be expanded. We maintain that the principal objective of the state will always be to secure the good life for all. This will entail providing every citizen with opportunities to be the best he or she could be, securing sustained economic prosperity, ensuring access to quality public services, and promoting social cohesion. The good life involves eradicating extreme poverty and reducing class, racial, and geographic inequalities. The ultimate measure of the good life is happy communities, happy households, and happy people. We will launch a 10-point program aimed at improving the quality of life by promoting, over the next 5 years, educational improvement, assured by enabling every child to have access to nursery, primary and secondary education, providing tuition-free education for eligible students at the University of Guyana, and strengthening teachers' training. Economic growth characterized by higher levels of investment, enabling incentives for business development, including robust support for agriculture, fisheries, manufacturing and mining. Constitutional reform pursued vigorously with wider popular consultation and with greater emphasis placed on broader political inclusion, protecting human rights and preventing constitutional gridlock. Good governance by adopting measures aimed at enhancing transparency and integrity in public office, strengthening regional development and empowering women and youth. Social protection by strengthening social safety nets for pensioners, the homeless, the indigent and disabled, and social cohesion by ensuring greater respect for each other's religious beliefs, ethnic identities, and cultural practices. Human safety by intensifying action to suppress and reduce crime, protect human life, and ensure national security by safeguarding the country's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Indigenous peoples' development by preserving indigenous cultural identity and according recognition of indigenous peoples' knowledge in protecting the environment. Energy sector development through strengthening the institutional, legislative and regulatory framework for the management of the petroleum sector and by fast-tracking the development of renewable energy sources. Environmental protection by preserving our ecosystems and their biodiversity, implementing conservation, climate adaptation and mitigation measures, and combating the adverse effects of climate change. Infrastructural improvement by extending aerodromes, bridges, road networks, stellings, and ferry services through hinterland development and strengthening coastal defenses. We can look forward to living in a country which enjoys high levels of growth and human development and with accountable government and greater equality. Constitutional reform will allow for the easier resolution of political differences. Citizens can be assured that their communities will be safer and that borders will be more secure. The productive sectors will be more resilient by receiving increased support to drive economic development. I declared 20th of December National Petroleum Day, signifying that Guyana had become a petroleum-producing state. The increased fiscal space created by the commencement of petroleum production allows the intensification of the rate of implementation of these transformative processes. Your government will ensure that petroleum revenues will be managed prudently for present and future generations in accordance with our objective of securing the good life for all. We shall do this through a natural resource fund which, as it stands, meets 21 of the 24 Santiago Principles, with the other 3 principles to be met once the legislation comes into force. I am pleased to announce the launch of a Decade of Development 2020-2029, a 10-year plan that will accelerate the country's 4 transformative processes: the green state, the digital state, the petroleum state, and an education nation. The first transformative process involves the transition towards becoming a green state that will emphasize the preservation and protection of the environment and the graduation towards greater value-added production. The second will be the development of a digital state which will connect every region, neighborhood, village, community, and government agency, generate ICT services, and make public services more accessible. The third will be the emergence of an education nation, characterized by every child attending primary school, every child graduating from secondary school, and the country having a more highly educated workforce. And the fourth will be the beginning of petroleum production, which will result in fast economic growth, increased employment and economic opportunities, and larger fiscal revenues. We can expect to live in a gentle, green, and good country during the decade of development as a result of these changes. The results will be a growing economy that is innovative and competitive, and which generates jobs for everyone who is willing to work. An education nation in which every child attends and graduates from school. Every eligible person is accorded free tertiary education at the University of Guyana. Every teacher is trained and paid satisfactorily. A public health care system providing the best treatment and care available, including to the aged, the infirm, and to children. Communities in which there is a roof over every head, and parks and playfields and recreational facilities where citizens are free to walk without fear of molestation. A country with modern infrastructure which could allow someone to drive from Crabble Creek on the current team to Sand Creek in the Rupununi, and with every household, community, region and business having access to the internet. We will continue to protect human life by safeguarding the environment. We shall intensify our commitment to preventing pollution of our waterways, eliminating the importation of single-use plastics, which will contribute to clogging drainage systems, flooding and squalor, depleting aquatic life, and contaminating creeks, rivers, freshwater, and marine waters. Combating the adverse impact of climate change and rising sea levels caused by global warming, which erodes our natural sea defense structures and protects the mangrove forests that help to secure our shoreline and riverbanks from erosion, and strengthening forestry and mining laws to make reforestation and land reclamation conditional for the approval of mining and logging concessions. Citizenship of this good country must mean, by 2030, living in a modern state where everyone could enjoy equality before the law, education that is free, employment that is satisfying, and an environment that is safe and healthy. The launch of the decade today brings the realization of the good life closer. Guyanese, it is fitting that as we witness these transformative changes, we will celebrate the 50th anniversary of becoming a republic on the 23rd of February 2020. This is an occasion of national pride, deserving a grand celebration of the actualization of our sovereignty. The Republic's Jubilee occurs at an auspicious and propitious time. We are about to leap above the barriers which previously constrained us in the pursuit of the good life. Guyanese are urged to join in the vibrant celebration being planned to mark the Republic's Jubilee. General and regional elections will be held this year. The proclamation dissolving Parliament on the 30th of December 2019 and designating the 2nd of March 2020 as election day have been signed already. We will have the opportunity to elect representatives to the National Assembly and regional democratic councils. The free exercise of our franchise will determine who we choose to manage the affairs of state over the next 5 years. General and regional elections provide the opportunity for the election of leaders to govern the country during an era of high levels of economic growth and human development. Political parties will be mobilized fully. The population will turn out in large numbers. The Elections Commission will deliver free, fair and credible elections, and the security forces will ensure an environment of public order and stability before, during and after the elections. It is fitting also to iterate our intention to strengthen our resolve and augment our resources to protect our national patrimony. We expect that the controversy between the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela will be resolved peaceably by the International Court of Justice. This course of action is in accordance with Guyana's view that a judicial settlement is the best means of achieving a final and definitive settlement of the long-standing controversy by reasserting that the 1899 arbitral award is valid and binding upon Guyana and Venezuela. Guyanese, the year 2020 will be an unforgettable year. It will demand diligent and dutiful service from all if we are to attain the common good. We should be satisfied that the plans which have been laid out for the next 5 years will culminate inevitably in our homeland becoming a land of happy people, happy families, happy households, and happy communities. I extend best wishes to every Guyanese for a happy and prosperous new year, one which promises to be the most exciting and exhilarating in our nation's history. May God bless you.
Guyana boasts of being a multi-ethnic society, and encompassed in this society is a variety of food dishes to choose from any day of the year, except maybe on Old Year's night. On this final night of the year, cook-up rice is ubiquitous, whether it's dry or wet, with black-eyed peas, red peas, or a combination of mixed beans, and of course with your choice meat, cook-up rice is the customary Old Year's dish. For 30, maybe even 35 years, Ms. Davis has been preparing her All Year's cook-up. This year, she allowed us to see how she prepares this dish.
She need more wood for the fire. I got the good wood she desire. Any that she want, I buy her. In she DM, I reply. I will wine her, I will grind her. Tell the fire, spark inside her. If she dry, I make she wet. Make her flame inside this flat. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. They got a bubble and a bubble and a bubble dip. They got a double and a double and a double it up. They got a bubble and a bubble and a bubble dip. They got a double and a double and a double it up. She need more wood for the fire. I got the good wood she desire. Any that she want, I buy her. In she DM, I reply. I will wine her, I will grind her. Tell the fire, spark inside her. If she dry, I make she wet. Make her say, let me start a fire. Ooh, bamboo fire, make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire, make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire, make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire, make so, make so, make so. They got a bubble and a bubble and a bubble dip. They got a double and a double and a double it up. They got a bubble and a bubble and a bubble dip. They got a double and a double and a double it up. They got a bubble and a bubble and a bubble dip. They got a double and a double and a double it up. They got a bubble and a bubble and a bubble dip. They got a double and a double. That a fire. Ooh, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so, make so. Bamboo, bamboo fire. Make so, make so.
But Guyana now is an oil producing nation, which we're all excited, and we've been seeing all the posts and everybody's gearing up for the oil, and when we had the first oil, and you know, all the memes, and everybody is so excited about that. And I'm excited as well because I see lots of changes that will occur. I see an influx of foreign investors. We see a lot of persons remigrating back to Guyana, which is good. That means that our culture is going to be, you know, there are going to be some changes, and I'm excited for that part of it as Guyana develop and move forward to a first world status, or a developing nation as it is right now. I'm very, very excited to see what is in store. For me, I know in my sector, being the hospitality sector, I want to see a lot of work being done in the service industry. I think that's one of the areas that we need to pump a little bit more money in. I want people to get excited and feel good that when they come to a restaurant or they go to a hotel or any place that provides service for us, that you know, you feel warmth and you feel welcome. And I want that spirit that we had some years ago, where we always say Guyanese, they were the warmest people throughout the region, and I want that to come back, because I was one of those persons that would have been, you know, boosting and being the ambassador. And yeah, we're so warm and we're so friendly. and then there was a point where that went down. So I want to see more in that sector when it comes to hospitality, because of the influx of persons and the culture that is going to be adjusted a little bit. I know we definitely have a great way. Also, that brings in some revenue. So not only that the oil and gas is going to bring in revenue for Ghana, but tourism on the whole. Ghana, we know, has been winning many awards for the last years on its ecotourism. So I definitely want to see more work being put into that, and just generally bringing Guyana as a #1 tourist destination.
Right. If I can just ask you one final question. We're also heading into the political season, you know. Is there a certain message you'd want to leave with your Guyanese citizens, fellow Guyanese citizens, as we head into this season?
As we are heading into the political season and the campaigns have already started, I know people get antsy around that time, and I have noticed, however, that there have been some change with the way people think, especially when it comes to choosing their political leader or their party, because we know the major parties and we know how people would normally get very racial and very hostile. But I've been seeing some changes, and I want people to keep on that road that, you know, regardless who is in power, whichever party win or lose, we all have to work together as Guyanese people, because without us and national unity and us working together, there will be no development. There won't be any Guyana that we can feel proud of. I think the political party plays their part, but the major part is left also on the citizen, who are the ones who actually utilizes these services, who manage these programs, and who see and push towards the development. So I think during that period of time, let's remember that, you know, we're one people, one nation, one destiny, and let's keep that in the back of our heads, that we can live in that same unity as we've been living all through, and even as our republic is there, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to dance, and we're going to come together. And Christmas time now, and you know, we're so excited. Everybody, you're inviting the neighbor over to take a drink, or everybody's sharing whether the ham or the turkey or the chicken. I want people to remember that we've been living good like that throughout the years before election came into place. So let's continue to live like that. Respect people's political view. Everyone has that right, but it all comes back to us as a citizen of Guyana to ensure that we do our part in making Guyana great. As we are heading into the political season and the campaigns have already started, I know people get antsy around that time, and I have noticed, however, that there have been some change with the way people think, especially when it comes to choosing their political leader or their party, because we know the major parties and we know how people would normally get very racial and very hostile. But I've been seeing some changes, and I want people to keep on that road that, you know, regardless who is in power, whichever party win or lose, we all have to work together as Guyanese people, because without us and national unity and us working together, there will be no development. There won't be any Guyana that we can feel proud of. I think the political party plays their part, but the major part is left also on the citizen, who are the ones who actually utilizes these services, who manage these programs, and who see and push towards development. So I think during that period of time, let's remember that, you know, we're one people, one nation, one destiny, and let's keep that in the back of our heads, that we can live in that same unity as we've been living all through, and even as our republic is there, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to dance, and we're going to come together. And Christmas time now, and you know, we're so excited. Everybody, you're inviting the neighbor over to take a drink, or everybody's sharing whether the ham or the turkey or the chicken. I want people to remember that we've been living good like that throughout the years before election came into place. So let's continue to live like that. Respect people's political view. Everyone has that right, but it all comes back to us as a citizen of Guyana to ensure that we do our part in making Guyana great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was really
Well, what can I say? Guyana is a rich country. We are now oil found, and we're moving forward. I mean, slow but sure, you know. We're getting there. And what about Mastermind? We're entering our 50th year, which is going to be big. I mean, we hope that we all unite as one, because we're one people, one nation, and we're heading for one destiny. And we just need to stop this racism and this race hate, and worrying about who is there. You know, we need to support whoever's there and work towards the betterment of our country. Focus on the youth and young people, train them to be good people in society and be respectful and to be loyal to their country. Look at the anthem, right? Loyal.
I think Guyana is doing good, you know, with the oil production and everything. I think that Guyana is really stepping up, producing country, and I think everything is going to be upgraded in 2020. I think 2020 is just going to be a great year for everybody, financially and everything, just overall. I think that politically, I think Guyana should stick as one and kind of don't let all the political stuff get to their heads. I think if Guyana will stick together, we could probably do better in the following years coming, not just 2020. I think 2020 is just a start to all the amazing stuff that Guyana has planned for each other and neighbor countries.
Oil in Guyana would be a great plus because it's an additional natural resource that we have now. So once it's being managed by the right set of people and everything is accounted for, I think Guyana would be moving way ahead, and we'll be in a better position. We'll have more revenues to do better things for the Guyana as a whole.
My name is Regina Paul. I've been working at Guyana National Newspaper Limited for about 8 years as an accounts clerk. This is my first job, and it's been 8 years there, and it's not bad. Gaining Work of the Year this year was very, very surprising to me because I didn't know I was going to get it. But I knew I worked hard, and my hard work finally have paid off.
My name is Shelley Hall Allen. I've been employed at the Guyana National Newspaper for the past 6 years in the circulation department as a dispatch clerk. Working in there, the dispatch clerk, we work in the night. That's a night job, and working in the night is very challenging, especially for a female. So I'm working as a dispatch clerk, deal with a lot of vendors, and it exposed me to a lot of people and a lot of experience. And I want to thank the management of Guyana National Newspaper Limited for giving me the push and the courage to go along.
My name is Linda Williams. I've been employed at the Guyana National Newspapers Limited for the past 5 years as the confidential secretary to the general manager in the admin department. My experience here at GNNL was an awesome one. I have a lovely bunch of staff that I work along with. This award came as no surprise for me. I've been expecting this because I know that I've been putting in a lot of hard work. Sometimes in the night I work late when everybody else at home enjoying themselves. I'm working late, and I would like to thank management for recognizing my hard work.